Sit down, my young friend. The house is quiet now. The grandfather clock ticks in the hallway, a constant reminder that time is the one currency we can never earn more of. You look at me and see an old man. Grey hair, slow steps, hands that tremble just a little when I hold my tea. But inside this mind, I am still your age. I still remember the fire of ambition, the fear of missing out, the desperate scramble to build a life. Today, I want to talk to you about money. Not just pennies and dimes, but the markets, the great financial oceans that we all must sail. People think money is about math. It is not. Money is about emotion. It is about fear, greed, and ultimately regret. I have watched the markets rise and fall for half a century. I have made fortunes and I have lost them. And I am telling you now, there are 7 money regrets that will haunt you when you reach my age. I want you to listen, truly listen, so you do not have to carry the same ghosts I do. Let me take you back to a story. The year was 1987, Black Monday. The stock market dropped 22% in a single day. I was a young man, full of pride, and a portfolio I thought was invincible. When the screen turned red, fear gripped my throat like a cold hand. I did what the frightened herd did. I sold everything. I locked in my losses because I was terrified tomorrow would be worse. But tomorrow and the years that followed brought the greatest bull market in history. I sat on the sidelines, nursing my pride, watching the world get rich without me. That was my first bitter taste of market reality. That brings me to the first regret. Panic, selling when the world seems to be ending. The financial market is a mirror of human psychology. When a crash happens, whether it was the dot-com bubble bursting in 2000 or the great housing crisis of 2008, the media will scream that the sky is falling. Your stomach will churn. But here is the wisdom of the ages. The market always recovers. Human progress does not stop. Every time you sell in a panic, you are paying a permanent price for a temporary problem. At 70, you will look back at those dips not as disasters, but as the greatest missed opportunities of your life. The second regret, staying in cash out of the illusion of safety. Oh, cash feels so safe, does it not? It sits in the bank, it does not fluctuate, it lets you sleep at night. But it is a silent illusion. Let me tell you about inflation, the invisible thief. In the 1970s, we saw inflation run rampant. People who thought their savings were secure watched their purchasing power evaporate. They could no longer afford the life they had meticulously planned for. You must understand that cash is a melting ice cube. When I was your age, a cup of coffee cost $0.25. Today, it costs $5. If you hide your money under the mattress or in a low-interest bank account, you are guaranteeing your own slow impoverishment. The stock market, buying pieces of real, profitable businesses, is the only historically proven raft that floats above the rising tide of inflation. At 70, holding too much cash will not make you feel safe. It will make you feel foolish. Regret number 3, chasing the hot tip instead of building a boring foundation. I remember the late 1990s. Everyone was a genius. My neighbor, a dentist, was giving me stock tips about internet companies that had no profits, no products, just a .com in their name. People mortgaged their homes to buy these stocks. They chased the shiny object because greed is a powerful drug. When the bubble burst, fortunes vanished into thin air. Investing is not supposed to be thrilling. It should be like watching paint dry or grass grow. Broad index funds, steady contributions, unshakable patience. The thrill seekers end up broke. The bored investors end up wealthy. Do not reach 70 realizing you gambled your future on the equivalent of financial lottery tickets. Regret number 4, trying to time the market. I have known incredibly smart people who spent their lives looking at charts, reading economic tea leaves, trying to predict exactly when the market would go up or down. They wait for the perfect moment to invest. Let me save you decades of frustration. The perfect moment does not exist. Time in the market is vastly superior to timing the market. Consider the lost decade of the 2000s. The S&P 500 went virtually nowhere. Yet those who continued to invest blindly, dollar cost averaging into the market every single month, bought shares at incredible discounts. When the longest bull market in history followed from 2009 to 2020, those steady investors became millionaires. The market timers, they were left waiting for a signal that never came. The ghost of missed compound growth will haunt your quiet moments when you are old. The fifth regret, ignoring the magic of compound interest in your early years. Listen to me carefully. The dollars you invest in your 20s and 30s are the most powerful dollars you will ever hold. They are seeds that have decades to grow into massive oak trees. I delayed serious investing until my 40s because I thought I needed to live large in my youth. I bought the flashy car. I bought the expensive watches. But every dollar I spent on luxury back then robbed me of $100 today. At 70, you will not care about the car you drove at 25. You will care about your freedom. Start early, even if it is just a little. Let time do the heavy lifting for you. Regret number 6, failing to invest in your own human capital. We talk so much about the stock market, but the greatest asset you will ever own is yourself, your skills, your adaptability, your health. The market will change, industries will die, artificial intelligence and new technologies will wipe out jobs. If you do not constantly learn, read, and upgrade your skills, you will be left behind. I knew men who worked the same job for 30 years, never learning a new skill, and when the economy shifted, they were cast aside. Invest in your education. Read books about financial markets, about history, about human nature. The dividends from self-education are entirely tax-free and totally crash-proof. And finally, the 7th regret, the deepest one, letting money become your master instead of your tool. In the financial markets, it is easy to become obsessed. You check your portfolio every hour. You tie your self-worth to your net worth. You neglect your spouse, your children, your own peace of mind in the pursuit of one more dollar. I have seen rich men die entirely alone. Money is stored energy. It is a tool to buy you choices, to buy you time, to buy you freedom from worry. But it cannot buy you love, and it cannot buy you forgiveness. Do not reach my age with a heavy bank account and an empty heart. You see, the emotional turning point in a man's life comes when he realizes his mortality. When you are young, you think you have forever. But one day, you wake up, your joints ache, and you realize the runway behind you is much longer than the runway ahead. The markets will still be there. The bells will ring on Wall Street, the tickers will flash green and red, but your time will be up. The financial decisions you make today are not just numbers on a screen, they are the architecture of your future life. Will your 70-year-old self live in dignity and peace, or in stress and regret? You still have the pen in your hand. You can still write a different ending. Stop panicking over the news. Stop trying to get rich quick. Buy quality assets. Hold them with hands of iron. Live below your means and love your family fiercely. The storms will come, the markets will crash, but if you hold your course, you will reach the golden shores. Thank you for listening to An Old Man's Tales. If these words brought you value, if they gave you a compass for the turbulent waters ahead, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below with the financial lesson you are learning right now. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Take care of yourselves.